Our Meraai has still not seen the hallowed ground of a vehicle test station to go through her roadworthy test. The reason being, we are still fixing some sins of the past. Our baby girl finds herself sandwiched between some real mother truckers. It's been a couple of weeks since we last broke bread, and the reason is that, they don't call this place the Slow Coast for nothing. We were waiting for our kingpins, as well as the steering rod, which had to be repacked, some other things from a company that, they took their time. They had a few issues on other projects, but anyways, I need to point something out to you. Come look at this. Meraai is not yet house trained and has been peeing little puddles of diesel since she has been away from home. Sadly, there is more to come. Now that is not a little diesel leak. Can you imagine if that was in my driveway? Just something. I don't want to harp on the past, but I am very bitter about a few things. The good news is that all the bits and pieces for the steering wheel and front axle have arrived, and assembly is now taking place. These bits and pieces are all safety critical elements that were ignored in the past. Soon Meraai will have a stable front axle, and the guys will finally be able to do her wheel alignment. Now, one of the biggest elephants in the room, and I'm not talking about these mamas on either side of me with our baby sandwiched in between, is our tire issue. Now, I've asked for advice on quite a few forums, and I know what I need to do. I was told again and again and again, we're fine with weight, we're fine with weight. You guys watching this said, what about the steel? You're packing steel on, your weight. And I was told, no, the floor was this thick, that was that thick, and what I was told I conveyed to you guys. You were right. Those oaks were wrong. So yeah, tires are an issue. I've hoosed out 25,000 Rand on tires. I hoosed out another 30,000 Rand on rims. Well, I'm going to have to do that all again because I am not going to take this vehicle anywhere until it is sorted out. And I want to stay super single, and the man who's going to help me is our good mate who helped us with the whole rim cock up all those years ago, and that is Andy Goodman from Total Wheel Rebuild in Pinetown. I'm only visiting Meraai every few days. Progress on sorting out substandard work on her engine and undercarriage is steady. As soon as the alignment is done and dusted, the MAN Trucks mechanics will have their turn on Meraai. Today I am a nervous boy. Now, why is Philly a nervous boy? Well, brothers and sisters, it is because I'm going through now, and the guys from MAN Trucks have started to do a sweep of the undercarriage and the mechanics of Meraai. And I am very nervous about what they may find. One good thing, and that is that finally we get to decide who works on our vehicle. Tread check is about a 20-minute drive from our house. Arriving at the workshop, you are always greeted by these juggernauts. For the first time in our 3-year build, Meraai has been moved over a workshop pit. This is also the very first time during our build that I am able to walk beneath her and get an idea of what is going on. Hopefully some positive news for my pocket is that we don't have to replace the injectors. The guy, Tyron, was telling me, the guy who is going to be looking at the engine came and started up yesterday, and he said he thinks it's a setting on the fuel pump, which hasn't been set. And I'm hoping that is the case. Which also means we don't need to replace the fuel pump, which he also thought there might be an issue with. But there's a lot of leaks underneath here from brake fluid, diesel. There's a lot of little leaks, and they will be sorted now. Everything you see here, I have only been able to get brief glimpses of in the past. Granted, most of it is hieroglyphics to me, but there are a few things that I do recognize. Alright, there's a few things that moi, with the mechanical knowledge of a gnat, has picked up. And the first one is something which was raised at East Coast, and that is these leaf springs on the rear. They are lying flat as a pancake. And I remember the concern was expressed. Then it was like, oh no, but it's fine. You know what we do? We put an air ballast in there. Problem solved. That's what I did. I went and I spent a lot of money on these air ballasts, but the springs are still flat. And we should have had them seen to. And this is a safety critical thing. So when I'm done here, I'm going to take it to a suspension guru. We're going to recondition these leaf springs, and he will fit the new air ballast, which I've also ordered for the front wheels. But we will recondition leaf springs all round. Should have been done. Now when we come to the front, those of you who follow me regularly will know that I bought a new set of heavy duty shocks. Now I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to look like this. Obviously when the shock was being installed, somebody laid into it with a hammer and just blixemed it on to get it to fit, and in the process has dented the outer casing, which I'm pretty sure is not good. Meraai is now ready for the next stage of her rehab. She finds herself surrounded by some serious muscle. Meraai has now been moved across to Man Truck's main workshop, surrounded by some beasts, man. But very, very disturbing news. Very disturbing news. A preliminary drive and inspection has revealed some nasty surprises.
We're going to strip the gearbox, we're going to get that out and just check what's causing the shudder.
Okay, so is that shutter the main thing?
Yeah, at the moment, yes.
And then you're going to go through everything else underneath for me?
Yes.
Okay, from my point it's quite disturbing about that shutter, because this was all done.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
That's what my boss was saying as well, with the flower being new and the clutch kit being new. Doesn't understand why it's got such a bad shutter.
That makes two of us. There is so much going on around our Meraai that truly smockles the brain. So that is really disturbing news, and I know it is going to be expensive news. Yeah, very, very worrying, but at least I am comfortable that these oaks know what they are doing. And as I mentioned a little while ago, at least now I decide who does what on this vehicle, and by the time we've finished, it will be a safe vehicle to drive. I should know a bit more information today, but I want to get into the edit and get this one out. Just my closing. A lot of bad stuff going on in the world, really, really, really bad stuff, and all I want to say is any war is horrific. There are no winners in a war. One thing that can just put a smile on our dials in South Africa are our cricket and rugby teams who are flying our flag. Our leaders sure are not. They're just a bunch of losers, whereas our sports teams are winners. Anyways, enough. Yeah, guys, please look after yourselves. Thanks for the support. Look after your families, look after your possessions, and just keep safe.